7:30. Here's polling for our top Senate races. Out of the Wisconsin Senate race, Tammy Baldwin is up by 1%. Out of Florida, Senator Wayne Massam is up 2%, up 2 points. Out of Missouri, challenger Jason Kander is up 6 points. Out of Michigan, John Duggan is up 2 points. Out of Texas, Senator Dan Crenshaw is up 4 points. Here's some polling for the top governor races. Out of Kansas, Jeff Collier is up 4 points. Out of South Carolina, Governor Pamela Evans up 8 points. Out of Tennessee, challenger Amy Burke is up 7 points. This is mostly in response to Diane Black's response to the current recession going on in the state of Tennessee, which has been declared a state of emergency in the state by her, as President Ron DeSantis is doing everything he can to pull the state out of said recession. Out of Wisconsin, Mandela Barnes is up by 2. At Texas, Governor Dan Patrick is up by 1. It is now 7 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of the Indiana Senate race, it is too close to call. Luke Messer currently leading over Brad Ellsworth. Out of the Vermont Senate race, Phil Scott is the projected winner, defeating Al Giordano. Out of the Virginia Senate race, Tim Kaine is the projected winner, defeating E.W. Jackson. Out of the Georgia Governor race, it is too close to call. Kessom Reed is leading over Herschel Walker. Out of the South Carolina Governor race, it is too close to call. Pamela Evans currently leading over Joe Cunningham. Out of the Vermont Governor race, Christine Halquist is the projected winner, defeating Andy Brock. It is now 7:30 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of the Ohio Senate race, too close to call. J.D. Vance currently leading over Sherrod Brown. West Virginia Senate race, Evan Jenkins is the projected winner, defeating Paula Jean Swearingen. Out of the Indiana Senate race, Luke Messer is now the projected winner, defeating Brad Ellsworth. Out of the Ohio Governor race, it is too close to call. Dennis Kucinich is leading over Warren Davidson. We now call it the Georgia Governor race. Kasem Reed has won, defeating Herschel Walker. Out of the South Carolina Governor race, it is too close to call. Pamela Evans currently leading over Joe Cunningham. It is now 8 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of the Connecticut Senate race, Chris Murphy is the projected winner, defeating Chris Shays. Out of the Delaware Senate race, John Carney has won re-election, defeating Ken Simpler. Out of the Florida Senate race, it's too close to call. Wayne Massam is currently leading over Jeff Atwater. Out of the Maine Senate race, Jared Golden has won re-election, defeating Richard Bennett. Out of the Maryland Senate race, John Delaney is the projected winner, defeating Gail Bates. Out of the Massachusetts Senate race, Charlie Baker has won re-election, defeating Alan Kazai. And we can now, with that call, we can now make a projection that Republicans will maintain their majority in the Senate, and we can even project that they'll make a net gain of 1 throughout the night. We can make that projection. They'll make a net gain or loss of 1, mostly a gain, despite it being a supposed blue wave year for Ron DeSantis. Out of the Mississippi Senate race, Roger Wicker is the projected winner, defeating Jeremy Anderson. Out of the Missouri Senate race, it is too close to call. Mike Kehoe leading over Jason Kander. Out of the New Jersey Senate race, Bob Menendez currently is the projected winner, defeating Jack Ciattarelli. Out of the Pennsylvania Senate race, too close to call. Bob Casey Jr. currently leading over Pat Meehan. Out of the Rhode Island Senate race, Sheldon Whitehouse is the projected winner, defeating Robert Nardiello. Out of the Tennessee Senate race, Marsha Blackburn is the projected winner, defeating Andy Burke. Out of the Ohio Senate race, J.D. Vance currently leading over Sherrod Brown. We now have calls out of the Alabama Governor race. Tommy Battle has won, defeating Doug Jones. Out of the Connecticut Governor race, Jen Psaki has won, defeating Bob Stefanowski. This is a gain for Democrats. Out of the Florida Governor race, too close to call. Gwen Graham currently leading over Pam Bondi. Out of the Illinois Governor race, Daniel Biss has won, defeating Gene Ives. The Maine Governor race, Sean Fairclough winning re-election, defeating Bruce Poliquin. Maryland Governor race, Angela Also Brooks has won, defeating Robin Ficker. Out of the Massachusetts Governor race, Seti Warren has won re-election, defeating Jeff Deal. Out of the New Hampshire Governor race, Andrew Walensky has won re-election, defeating Corey Lewandowski. Out of the Oklahoma Governor race, Nick Cornett has won re-election, defeating Dan Boren. Out of the Pennsylvania Governor race, it is too close to call. Josh Shapiro, the former Attorney General, is leading over Jim Cawley. Out of the Rhode Island governor race, Georgia Lorza has won, defeating Blake Filippi. Out of the Tennessee governor race, Diane Black is currently leading over Andy Burke. Out of the Ohio governor race, it's too close to call. Dennis Kucinich currently leading over Warren Davidson. South Carolina's governor race is still too close to call. Pamela Evans leading over Joe Cunningham. It is now 8:30 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. We can now make a call out of the state of Ohio. J.D. Vance is the projected winner, defeating Sheriff Brown. He has won, flipping this seat for Republicans. Out of the Florida Senate race, too close to call. Wayne Massam is leading over Jeff Atwater. Out of the Missouri Senate race, too close to call. Jason Kander now leading over Mike Kehoe. Out of the Pennsylvania Senate race, too close to call. Bob Casey Jr. leading over Pat Meehan. We now have called the Arkansas governor race. Leslie Rutledge is the projected winner, defeating Greg Leding. Out of the Ohio governor race, Dennis Kucinich is the projected winner, defeating Warren Davidson, keeping the seat blue. Out of the Florida governor race, too close to call. Glenn Graham currently leading over Pam Bondi. Out of the Pennsylvania governor race, it's too close to call. Josh Shapiro leading over Jim Cawley. Out of the Tennessee governor race, too close to call. Deanne Black is leading over Andy Burke. The South Carolina governor race is leading over Joe Cunningham. It is now 9 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of the Arizona Senate race, that is too close to call. Kirsten Sinema is currently leading over Kelly Ward. Out of the Michigan Senate race, John James, the former governor, is leading over Mike Duggan. Out of the Minnesota governor race, Amy Klobuchar is the projected winner, defeating Pete Hegseth. Out of the Nebraska Senate race, Don Bacon has won re-election, defeating Scott Cleve. Out of the New Mexico Senate race, Martin Heinrich has won re-election, defeating Susana Martinez. Out of New York Senate race, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has won re-election, defeating George Maragos. Out of the North Dakota Senate race, Kevin Kramer has won re-election, defeating Ken Conrad. Out of the Texas Senate race, that is too close to call. Dane Crenshaw currently leading over Wendy Davis. Out of the Wisconsin Senate race, too close to call. Timmy Baldwin leading over Mike Gallagher. Out of the Wyoming Senate race, Eric Prince has won this seat, defeating Chris Rothfuss. Out of the Pennsylvania Senate race, Bob Casey Jr. is the projected winner, defeating Pat Meehan. The Florida Senate race is still too close to call, but Jeff Atwater is now leading over Wayne Massam. Missouri Senate race, too close to call. Jason Kander leading over Mike Kehoe. Arizona's governor race, too close to call. Charlene Fernandez is leading over Kimberly Yee. Colorado's governor race, Mike Johnson is the projected winner, defeating Heidi Grinhall. Kansas governor race, too close to call. Jeff Collier leading over Deb Miller. Michigan's governor race, too close to call. Abdul El-Sayed is leading over Brian Calley. Out of the Minnesota governor race, Lori Swanson is the projected winner, defeating Scott Jensen. And the Nebraska governor race, Deb Fisher is the projected winner, defeating Jane Cleave. And the New Mexico governor race, Hector Balderas has won, defeating John Sanchez. And the New York governor race, Andrew Yang is the projected winner, defeating Rob Estorino. Out of the South Dakota governor race, Marty Jackley is the winner, defeating Cooper Caraway. Out of the Texas governor race, it's too close to call. Dan Frederick leading over Lena Hidalgo. Out of the Wisconsin governor race, it's too close to call. Mandela Barnes is leading over Reince Priebus. In the Wyoming governor race, Cindy Hill has won, defeating Gary Trauner. Now, in the Florida governor race, Gwen Graham has won re-election, defeating Pam Bondi. Out of the Pennsylvania governor race, Josh Shapiro has kept the seat blue, defeating Jim Cawley. In the Tennessee governor race, still too close to call. Deanne Black currently leading over Andy Burke. South Carolina governor race, too close to call. Pamela Evett leading over Joe Cunningham. It is now 10 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. In the Montana Senate race, too close to call. Greg Gianforte is leading over John Morrison. In the Nevada Senate race, too close to call. Jackie Rosen is leading over Sharon Engel. In the Utah Senate, Mike Kennedy has won this seat, defeating Rob Bishop. In the Arizona Senate seat, Kirsten Sinema has won re-election, defeating Kelly Ward. In the Michigan Senate race, was too close to call. John James currently leading over Mike Duggan. Texas Senate race, too close to call. Dan Crenshaw leading over Wendy Davis. Wisconsin race, too close to call. Timmy Baldwin leading over Mike Gallagher. Florida Senate, too close to call. Jeff Atwater leading over Wayne Massam. Missouri Senate, too close to call. Jason Kander leading over Mike Kehoe. Iowa's governor race is too close to call. Governor Bill Northey leading over Rob Sand. Nevada governor race, 2 close to call. Governor Dean Heller is leading over Dina Titus. Arizona governor race, still 2 close to call. Charlene Fernandez leading over Kimberly Yee. Kansas governor race, still 2 close to call. Jeff Collier still leading over Deb Miller. Michigan's governor race, 2 close to call. Abdul El Sayed is leading over Brian Calley. Texas governor race is 2 close to call. Lena Hidalgo is leading over Dan Patrick. Wisconsin's governor race is 2 close to call. Mandela Barnes leading over Rance Priebus. Tennessee's governor race is 2 close to call. Amy Burke now taking the lead over Deanne Black. South Carolina's governor race is 2 close to call. Pamela Evans leading over Joe Cunningham. It is now 11 p.m. in the following states have poll closings. Out of California Senate race, Gavin Newsom is the projected winner, defeating Anna Kasparian. These two used to work together in the California Executive Office. Gavin Newsom was the governor and Kasparian was the lieutenant governor. In the Hawaii Senate race, Tulsi Gabbard has won, defeating Duke Iona. Out of the Washington Senate race, Mariah Cantwell, the woman who kind of looks like Scarlett Johansson, has won, defeating Doc Hastings. Out of the Montana Senate race, Greg Gianforte has won, defeating John Morrison. Out of the Nevada Senate race, Jackie Rosen has won, defeating Sharon Angle. Out of the Michigan Senate race, Mike Duggan is now leading over John James. Out of the Texas Senate race, 2 close to call. Dan Crenshaw leading over Wendy Davis. Wisconsin Senate race, 2 close to call. Tammy Baldwin leading over Mike Gallagher. Florida Senate race, 2 close to call. Jeff Atwater leading over Wayne Somm. Missouri Senate race, still 2 close to call. Jason Kander leading over Mike Kehoe. California's governor race is 2 close to call. Kevin Faulkner is leading over Cenk Uygur. In Hawaii's governor race, Donovan De La Cruz is won, defeating Andrea Tupola. Idaho's governor race, Janice McGetchen is won, defeating Peter Dill. Oregon's governor race, 2 close to call. Alex Skarlatos is leading over Tobias Reed. Iowa's governor race, Bill Northey has won re-election, defeating Rob Sand. In the Nevada governor race, Dean Heller has won re-election, defeating Dina Titus. At the Arizona governor race, Charlene Fernandez has won re-election, defeating Kimberly Yee. At the Michigan governor race, a split for Democrats. Abdul El Sayed has become the first, I believe, Arab governor of Michigan, defeating Brian Calley, and the first Arab governor in the United States. I could be wrong. At the Texas governor race, Lena Hidalgo has won, defeating Dan Patrick. She has flipped Texas blue. Like Beto couldn't do it, but this woman surely did. She has defeated Dan Patrick, becoming the first Democrat governor in many, many years. Out of the Wisconsin governor race, Mandela Barnes has won re-election, defeating Rance Priebus. Out of the Kansas governor race, it is 2 close to call. Jeff Collier is leading over Deb Miller. Tennessee's governor race, 2 close to call. Amy Burke leading over Deanne Black. Out of the South Carolina governor race, Joe Cunningham is now leading over Pamela Abbott. I repeat, Joe Cunningham is now leading over Pamela Abbott. It is now 1 a.m. and Alaska's polls are now closing. We now make a call of the Wisconsin Senate race. Tammy Baldwin is the projected winner, defeating Mike Gallagher. Out of Florida Senate race, a flip for Republicans as Jeff Atwater has defeated Wayne Somm to flip the seat red. Out of Missouri Senate seat, a flip for Democrats as Jason Kander has defeated Mike Kehoe. Out of the Michigan Senate race, Mike Duggan keeps his seat blue as he defeats John James. Out of the Texas Senate race, Dan Crenshaw has won, defeating Wendy Davis. A very close race despite Hidalgo flipping the governorship red, or excuse me, blue. Crenshaw keeps the Senate seat red. And the Alaska governor race, Hollis French has flipped Alaska blue, defeating Meade Treadwell. The Kansas governor race, Republicans have flipped this from the independent Greg Orman. Jeff Collier has won, defeating Deb Miller. Out of the South Carolina governor race, Joe Cunningham has flipped this blue as he defeated Pamela Abbott. And this shouldn't be a shock, though. The margin of shock is Amy Burke has barely won this state. Amy Burke has won, defeating Deanne Black, flipping Tennessee blue, the first Democrat governor since Phil Bredesen. And we can now make the call that the House majority will go to the Democrat Party as they will make a net 33-seat gain, having 258 seats, Republicans 177. Here is the current Senate map. Republicans have close to a filibuster-proof majority. They have 59 seats. But Republicans have 59 to 41. 59 to 41 seats in the Senate, my bad. With a +1 net gain. They probably would have had a filibuster-proof majority if Republicans ran a better candidate in Missouri than Mike Kehoe, but things happen. Here's the current gubernatorial map. Democrats now have the majority. The first time since 2010 have Democrats had the majority in the governorships. A whole 20 years of Republican rule ended tonight, as Democrats have 29 seats to Republicans 21. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the Chaotic One saying,